v6-v7 the hand doing a lunch hour stream and just giving you an update on my Lord Xander the Collector deck. This is version 6-7. So let's go through. Most of it is the same, so you're not going to see a whole lot of things here that are different. So you have your basic signets, right? Lightning Greaves, Mana Crypt has been in there for quite a while. Neverall's Disc still in there. So let's skip down a little bit for things that are changes. So we got Thought Vessel. Now Thought Vessel is in, even though it only adds colorless, because I've found quite a few times I have too many cards in my hand, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I have some graveyard return regardless. But the fact that the Commander's, I believe it's Sphere? Commander's Sphere. The fact that Commander's Sphere costs 3 has been a hindrance in many games, and the draw a card effect is never relevant. I've literally always drawn the card and been like, oh, I guess I still lose anyway. So, not worth it. So Commander's Sphere out, Thought Vessel in, and there are a bunch of changes because it's been a whole year, and you'll have to go on my Moxfield account for card by card comparison. I'm only going to bring up like the most pressing changes. Let's click through. Okay, so Rakdos, Patron of Chaos, is a very new card in the deck. I haven't even played with it yet. I just did like a rearrange. And it only costs 6, which is good. I prefer lower costing creatures that have powerful effects. I would compare this to Consecrated Sphinx in that they're probably going to let you draw the cards unless they have just a whole bunch of one-drop creatures that they don't care about killing. So obviously you don't draw as many cards, you're only drawing 2, but it's still really good. Then it's, of course, it's a 6/6 with flying and trample, and you just attack. But it also works the same turn you play it. Not when it enters the battlefield, but same turn, and that matters. Let's see. Oh, Sheoldred the Apocalypse is new. I do have some interaction effects in here with life loss, such as Black Market Connections. That'll counteract the life loss there. And along with it is Stinging Study. So along with Stinging Study, you counteract the life loss. The negative is if your opponent steals Sheoldred, you're probably going to be losing a lot of life. But the positive is it's the only life gain card in the whole deck. You need one life gain card in the deck to function. I've played many thousands of games, and at some point you need to gain some life if you can't blow the board. So there it is. It only costs 4. So let's go down. Oh, Treachery was recently added. And I actually believe Black Market Connections, in comparison to the previous version, is an addition too. The deck for Treachery really needed some more permanent steel. Pretty badly. Actually, this scenario kept coming up, like, why don't I just have permanent steel in here a little bit more? And Treachery fits the bill 100%. So this deck does library steel, graveyard steel, permanent steel. I think those are all the effects, but it does a lot of stealing. Let's go down. I'm actually thinking about replacing Capsize with Boom Pile. I'll probably try it out in a casual game, and I'll just bring up Boom Pile quick so you can see what it does. Flip a coin. If you win the flip, destroy all non-land permanents. I only play casual games these days, so why not give it a shot, honestly? If anything, this list will probably flip this weekend when I play it, and I'll just take out Capsize for Boom Pile. Just to see how it works. Granted, I've won entire games from Capsize before, so it's a little difficult to say it's going to be an improvement. And let's see what else we got on our way down for newer stuff. Oh, Sapphire Dragon is definitely worth the mention. That's definitely newer. The deck is a little creature light and heavy on the control. Very, very, very often I win with my commander. But if my commander dies too many times, I need an alternative. And why not just have a 5/6 flying dragon just lying around after you counter a spell? Seems like a good idea to me. So now in practice, having a 3-mana counterspell sucks. So it's very situational, especially with target non-creature spell. Which you know that already if you've played Magic. Target non-creature spell is very limiting. Extraordinarily limiting. But the bonus is you get a 5/6 dragon. So it's worth the bonus. Let's see. I don't think there's any land changes. Nothing to really speak of for land changes. I think Xander's Lounge might be new from the last time. Let's just take a peek. I literally have it open so we can take a peek. So let's see, Xander's Lounge. No, it was there last time. So let's see, anything new here? Nope. Sorcery new. Bantu's Last Reckoning and Expressive Iteration might be new. I know Molten Collapse is new. So if we go back to the old list, let's see, for things that have gone out. Mind Stone's gone out, but same idea. I'm putting a 2-drop back in. Shadow Spear is long out. It serves almost no purpose. I'm blowing the entire board anyway. And how am I fighting the indestructible? Probably some bounce effects. Probably tutoring for Cyclonic Rift if I'm having trouble with indestructible. So let's go up. Oh, apparently Expressive Iteration wasn't here. Necrotic Hex is out. It costs 7. It's kind of an underperformer, to say the least. You just have a hard time getting to 7. And you're probably losing by then if you're... And this is just not good enough all the time. I mean, maybe in multiplayer. River's Rebuke got taken out. It's redundant with... Cyclonic Rift. And then what else we got for changes that are visible? You got Divide by Zero here, was taken out. The Divide by Zero goes in and out of the deck. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Got replaced with the Dragon. So let's see. I'm considering taking out Reinterpret. It's been good every time I've played it, but it just costs 4, and that's kind of a hindrance. What else we got? Oh, Shadowkin has been taken out and replaced with Treachery. Because in the very, very few games I saw Shadowkin, it wasn't like game breaking by any means. Not even a little. So Limerith Desert Storm has been cut for a very long time and replaced with Consecrated Sphinx. It costing 5 just insanely irrelevant, and you're never getting damage through with it, so why not just pay 1 more mana for Consecrated Sphinx and guarantee yourself the draw. So Dazzling Sphinx is still in, but there is a newer card that costs 4. It's unblockable, does the same thing, but has 1 attack power. And the only reason I keep Dazzling Sphinx in is because, yeah, I gain control, but I really got to do that damage. I don't have a lot of creatures. I really don't. I'm actually reliant on my opponent's creatures very often for stealing them. Delta Voidwalker is super out. It's just been insane irrelevant. Like, I get it late game, it's irrelevant. Early game, if you got it, it's mostly irrelevant. Usually it eats a kill spell by itself, and it's just been pointless. Let's see. Everything else is pretty much the same. So this has been the update. I guess I'll just go over some themes for the creature steal-ish effects. So I needed more permanent steal because I only had Dak Vaden for permanent steal. That's not enough. That's why Treachery got added. There's also a big exile theme in this deck. If it's not library exile, it's permanent exile. So Ashiok does permanent exile and grants, well, possible permanent exile. It goes to their hand, and then they get to pick one. Say, I'm considering taking out Liliana Death's Majesty. It is relevant because I'm milling myself to draw more cards to my graveyard to return something. I've never ever gotten the -7 off, so I don't think that'll ever happen. But then again, never know. Anyway, the deck's super fun. I heavily encourage you to look through the card pool here for the themes. And it's just heavily value driven. Like, I'm destroying a creature for 5. Great. Then I'm drawing a card. Alright. And then I'm probably destroying another creature. Or I just keep drawing more cards and then eventually destroy another creature. And so value driven creature destruction, value driven creature destruction, value driven creature destruction, value driven draw and or creature removal, value driven steal permanent or draw, return permanent, exile, and or create some small creatures. The small creatures are usually irrelevant, but you get Ashiok's ability twice pretty much all the time. So you're almost always exiling 2 cards with Ashiok, which is totally worth it. Because Ashiok becomes a target, and then they just kill Ashiok, and you're like, okay, I'll play something else. So you're wasting more of their resources than, like, you're getting more value out of Ashiok than just like a generic kill spell. Xanthar Guild Kingpin is super awesome if you get it in play. Heavy library steal, king of the deck. Honestly, it's just nuts. You just keep flipping cards off the top of their library and keep playing stuff. Of course, if you hit 2 lands, you're kind of stuck. But You can go from there. Wildfire Devils is Graveyard Steel. I know, red Graveyard Steel, right? It exists. It exists. This is by and large the best one, period, for Graveyard Steel in red. Let's see. Of course, Library Steel. This returns your own creatures and interacts with their board state. So creature based kill that also attacks and does damage. Raksha Debaser, same idea. Creature based attacker that also does damage, that steals creatures from graveyards. Ragavan, Birds of Paradise equivalent functionally if you get it out turn 1. And you steal permanents. Nashi Moonsage Scion, drop it turn 3, swing in, and if they don't have a way to kill it, you're probably going to wreck them. Pay 7, 8, whatever life you got to pay, and boom. Value-driven creature that has a die effect. Same idea, value-driven creature that has a die effect. Fallen Shinobi is absurd level broken. Deals combat damage. That player exiles top 2 cards of their library. Until in turn, you may play those cards without paying their mana costs. That's just nuts. Same idea with Eltai. Same idea with Library Steel, Dazzling Sphinx. So, Author of Shadows is Graveyard Steel. And Author of Shadows is amazing Graveyard Steel. Because you get anything and exile the rest of the cards. Let's see. Expressive Iteration is just there for some extra draw. I felt like the deck needed some extra draw. Cost 2. Maybe it'll eventually turn into something else, but for now, Expressive Iteration. I suppose you could turn it into a Phyrexian Arena if you wanted to. Oh, just a point here. In a control type deck like this, your kill needs to cost 2 for many, many, many things. And you have to have that available. That's why Baleful Mastery is here. And I don't care about the opponent drawing the card because I'm exiling the creature. Maybe Planeswalker, it's a 90% creature. What else we got? I mean, currently Capsize is here for flexibility. Again, I may change that to Boom Pile, just try it out. Oh, and don't keep in mind that you reuse these spells through Wildfire Devils like really often. So Wildfire Devils reuses your own spells in addition to your opponent's spells. I guess I'll just bring up heavy value-driven commands. Prismara command, you're usually killing an artifact and making a treasure token most of the time, unless you get the double bonus and you kill a creature and destroy an artifact. Oh, and I mean, you get the idea. Everything in here is value-driven. So value-driven counterspell, you counter with your spell, you put something directly into play from your hand. So... And this is just the old version I'm just going through. But new version will be up soon. As soon as I get a chance to put it on Moxfield. And newest thing is Molten Collapse, which I'll tell you the exact card I replaced that with. I replaced the Voidwalker with Molten Collapse because the Voidwalker was useless. And I wanted to replace it with something that costs 2. And why not just add more kill? Why not? It can kill a soul ring, or it can kill a creature. And if you're lucky, you get the descend effect. Who knows if you're lucky or not. And that's pretty much that. So the list is going to go up after this stream. If you're catching it now, good for you. But otherwise, you'll catch it later. And this has been Matthew over Channel 35, H in the hand, and I'll see you. Bye-bye.